Coming up on Cronkite Newswatch.
The federal government may be facing financial crisis, but for Phoenix, the mayor has a plan to boost economic security.
Plus, reduce taxes and saving big at the checkout lines. What could make it more affordable to shop for groceries?
And one airport's loss, but another's boost. Flying out of Phoenix could provide more options this fall.
In-depth, insightful, innovative. Cronkite Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite Newswatch. I'm Tara Molina.
And I'm Pierce Bly. Thanks for joining us.
Phoenix is on the rise worldwide as a workforce. Mayor Greg Stanton went all the way to the World Economic Forum in China to bring business back to Arizona's capital city. Cronkite News reporter Joe Bisaccia joins us live after meeting with Mayor Stanton today. Joe, tell me a little bit about what you found out.
While Mayor Stanton works to increase revenue from overseas, the City Council is working to save you from paying more taxes at the grocery store. Reporter Marcus Espinoza explains how we may soon be able to save at the checkout line. The reduction to the 1% cut on the food tax bill will become effective on January 1st, 2014. The entire food tax is slated to end the following year.
There are serious talks by lawmakers in Washington this week as the country faces the possibility of another government shutdown. The Affordable Care Act has created a major roadblock between House Republicans and Democrats. Lawmakers continue to meet in hopes of finding a resolution, but Republicans say the first move is up to the Senate.
We will not repeal or defund Obamacare. We will not. And to think we can is not rational.
We urge the Senate to take action.
And now it is up to Senate Democrats to show some responsibility and follow the House's lead. Now,
the fight over the budget and Affordable Care Act has now shifted to the Senate, but congressional analysts say the numbers are not there for any type of repeal. If there is no resolution, the government is said to shut down on October 1st, which is the same day the Affordable Care Act is scheduled to take effect.
Allegiant Air canceled 12 flights today, including several from Phoenix, as technicians continue to fix emergency slides on the planes. The overhaul comes following an emergency evacuation last week at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. The planes affected are the MD-80s. Allegiant did not say how many of their 52 MD-80 planes are being flown today. Passengers are being notified by email and telephone about the status of their flight.
Getting a small business to take off may become easier for entrepreneurs in the state of Arizona. I visited a Phoenix nonprofit organization that helped kickstart 56 new companies in its very first year. SeedSpot is funded by over 60 sponsoring partners, with donations ranging from $5,000 to $100,000.
Coming up on Newswatch.
An Arizona author was featured in D.C. over the weekend. She spoke with fans of all ages, teaching them about culture in an entertaining way.
And a small-town library in northern Arizona is receiving thousands of dollars in funding. This means a welcome shift to new technology. You're watching Cronkite Newswatch.
Coming up on Cronkite Newswatch.
The government may be shut down, but that didn't stop a group of Arizona veterans from visiting the memorial that honors them.
Plus, the Affordable Care Act is confusing to many young Americans. But One Valley organization is trying to educate college students on the new law.
And medical marijuana farmers markets are becoming more popular in the valley. Are these events even legal? Cronkite News investigates.
In-depth, insightful, innovative. Cronkite Newswatch starts right now.
Today marks the 7th day of the government shutdown.
And everyone is wondering if the House will come to an agreement.
I'm Tara Molina.
And I'm Pierce Bly. Welcome to Cronkite News. So what's the real deal of the week-long government shutdown? Well, that answer will change depending on who's doing the talking. But for some government employees, there may be no real impact at all. In Washington, the Department of Defense has brought some civilian personnel back to work, and the House passed legislation that will give back pay to federal workers who are furloughed when the shutdown ends. While the vote has not yet passed through the Senate or been signed by President Obama, it is likely both will agree. Meanwhile, the shutdown isn't stopping some Arizona veterans on a mission. Reporter John Genovese is live in Washington with the story. Another issue that has a lot of people talking is the Affordable Care Act, but a number of Arizona organizations are working to educate college students on the new insurance options. Two organizations, Arizona PIRG and Young Invincibles, kickstarted a week-long series of health insurance events called Health Insurance 101. The events will cover tips on enrolling and comparing plans, and even how to search for affordability and financial aid. The groups are targeting young adults by meeting at community colleges across the state.
We want young adults to know their health insurance options and their health insurance rights. We aren't telling them to sign up for a particular plan or to stay on a particular plan. We're telling them that it's really important that they look at the variety of options they have available to them and make a decision that best suits their needs.
If you can't make it to one of the seminars in person, they will host a Twitter town hall tomorrow at 2 o'clock at #GetCoveredAZ.
Coming up on Cronkite Newswatch.
Who will control Congress in 2014? We will find out what may influence the final decision.
Plus, Arizona's Attorney General race is getting heated.
And it's Milestone Monday. After pushing over the barrier, the Dow is making history.
In-depth, insightful, innovative. Cronkite Newswatch starts right now.
The race is on for the 2014 congressional elections.
Here in Arizona, we face a potentially tough debate. I'm Joe Bazzacchia.
And I'm Marissa Scott. Joining us from our D.C. bureau, John Genovese tells us about the 3 Arizona representatives facing re-election. John, what can you tell us? So far, the 2014 Attorney General race looks to be a 3-way battle between 2010 Democratic candidate Felicia Rodolini, Republican Mark Brnovich, and Republican incumbent Tom Horn. Cronkite News reporter Pierce Bly explains what the candidates want voters to focus on next year. The election will take place on November 4th of 2014, less than a year away.
Coming up on Cronkite Newswatch.
They should have the right to safety, survival, and their voices should be heard. What Governor Brewer has to say for our future generation.
Plus, does everything have a price? When it comes to saving the A-10 attack jet, one Arizona congressman is putting up a tough fight.
And Black Friday may have taken a hit, but some experts believe things will change.
In-depth, insightful, innovative. Cronkite Newswatch starts right now.
It's Cyber Monday, and Cronkite News brings you the latest.
But first, Governor Brewer is under fire. I'm Marcus Espinoza.
And I'm Tara Molina. Thanks for joining us. Arizona Governor Jan Brewer is feeling the pressure after accusations of ignoring child abuse cases. And Cronkite Newswatch has closely followed. Today, our reporter Joe Bazzacchia went to the Capitol, where Governor Brewer spoke about her administration's plan to help resolve this issue.
The United States Air Force has used A-10 jets for over 70 years. And here in Arizona, they can be seen taking off from Tucson and flying in formation. But as reporter John Genovese tells us, the aircraft may be causing a controversy.
The Mesa City Council is looking at a pay raise, not only for themselves, but for the mayor as well. The proposal on the table would call for a pay hike starting in January 2015. If passed, the mayor's pay would increase by $35,000 a year to $73,000. Council members would get a $16,000 pay raise to almost $37,000 a year. The proposal is currently being reviewed.
Coming up on Newswatch.
It can be hard getting out of abusive relationships, but for undocumented immigrants, they often have nowhere to turn. Cronkite News sits down with one woman who shares her story.
Arizona spends less than the national average on students, but the graduation rate is going up. What some school districts are doing to help their students. You're watching Cronkite Newswatch.